Holy smokes. That is quite the look.
I also own a farm.
Here we go. You're now watching the 2024 season of Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. Where's Norman? You all were hanging out together. Did he already leave for grain? So, we actually got to get mowing on the yard and stuff like that. Calves have been awesome. There he is. They are utilizing this area very well. I haven't had to feed them any hay. They're just doing their thing. There's hay in the trough. They get a little bit of grain, and we make sure they got water. They haven't destroyed the flowers, which is really nice of you guys. Really nice. Appreciate you guys being here. So, I figured today was going to be a wash based on what the weatherman was saying yesterday. Honestly, we got some moisture, but if you go over, like, not enough to matter. And if I look on the rain gauge, and we've messed the yard up, we got to bring this in more so that we can get trucks in and out, because that is kind of the nature of what we're doing. We got 1/10 of an inch. Yes, the raised beds haven't had any work. That is on the list. I got seed to start growing, which I probably should start doing right now. Our rhubarb, which has absolutely jumped. Look at that thing compared to last year or a few weeks ago. Sorry, I'm blocking your eyes with the light. Well, alrighty, I was gonna, well, get the 46 out and we were gonna throw the saddle tanks on. But if we got enough good weather for a few hours, we'll go keep plowing. So it didn't rain enough to shut us down completely. Last night I got tired, and if I can get a couple more hours of plowing in, and then we're gonna unload the saddle tanks and get the 46 rigged up with that. Keep in mind, I don't know how these videos are coming out. Something about calves. Well, cows in general, animals on the farm. Yep. Alrighty. I guess we're going to jump in the 75 and we'll get rolling, get some ground worked, and hopefully have a good day. Very excited that we are all organized with seed. We got to get the planter done. So that is on our list for this week. I talked to a bunch of people, and everybody wants to get going, but even the guys that have got good ground, warmer ground, longer growing season that's within my area, they all said May 10th. So right now it's April 28th when I'm filming this for you guys. And yeah, it's May 10th is going to come quick. But for them guys, I think we might be the 15th. So we got to see if it rains like it says, but it's slowly, they say it's going to rain, and then they change the weather that day. But gentleman actually just stopped in. He brought me a starter for a Mac for an E6 motor that he was just going to throw away, that came off a customer's truck. And yeah, he's got a Coonley shirt on from the big rig truck racing that we went down to. So that was pretty cool. He's headed up north. That doesn't mean everybody just stop in. We actually got to get some stuff done. But I do appreciate good people. Do you think this tire is flat today? No, it seems pretty good. It's got to have a slow leak somewhere. We sprayed it yesterday, but as you see, it's pretty well junk. Those tires off of that, different lug pattern and everything. So at some point we should get we should figure out a good tire, because these gauge wheel depth wheels, they take a lot of abuse randomly. But my one thing I want to grease on this, we haven't done enough acres to really get after it, but the wheel bearing, because I do not want to have to replace this wheel bearing at all this year. And last year we replaced it quite a few times. That wheel bearing takes a lot of weight when we're turning and everything else like that. You kind of got to think these on-land plows were really set up for big Midwest fields and stuff like that, not small fields that you're constantly turning in. So throw some grease in it. We got to make some more room, all our Mac stuff. Yeah, that goes up there. That's 75. That's 8820 parts. Yeah, we got some stuff organized now. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna put these on the site for sale. Somebody let me know if we should. Like, write them in the comments. Artec, it's been awesome. The only other person who has one of these is Alex France, Aaron France's son. For his birthday, he got a big mug one, and he says it's awesome. But there's different colors. Chad, who's doing the hats, the embroidered hats, he's made that happen. I don't know price-wise what they'd be at, but if that's something people want, let me know. It has pushed me to drink more water, which is a good thing. Well, there's a good rock. So there's some wet spots. As far as where we got stuck previously, I'm plowing slower than last night just to get back going. But those are the wet spots where we got stuck with the dump cart too. So we made worse spots. But otherwise, once you get going, it's decent running. It might be a tad bit wetter, which isn't the best thing. But I gotta get going at some point because we are gonna be hauling manure all this week. Rather be ahead a little bit and then be able to hit it with the disc. I do have help coming after the plow day. I got Colburn, so he might bring me a set of chisel plows so we can chisel plow some spots. We'll see how much I got. Yeah, looking good. Had to get out and just soak in the view. So last night when I jumped out, we were up a little further. We've done some passes, and well, this is the view. So it is pretty awesome. Like the green grass over on the side, we run that, so that works out pretty good. Yeah, Skip silos right up there, and Matt Schultz, where I borrowed the trailer from, we chop up there. So it makes for a small world, but I figured I just had to get out, soak in the moment for a second, let Yanko stretch his feet. I'll probably take a picture for the thumbnail or something. It is moving along. Got a little moisture in her, but we got to start somewhere. Like I said, I got some help coming. We're plowing it deeper than we did last year. Last year, if you don't know, last year, all of this ground was such a struggle to actually plow, because it had not been worked at all, and I need a really deep rip it. But that is probably a fall thing if we get around to it, and I'm also worried about grabbing tile line. But if the tile is where it is, then at the end of the day, it's got to get replaced. It's spent its life. So alrighty, well, we'll keep going. It gets less steep. It's got an incline. It's not steep to the point where I get nervous, but it's got an incline coming up, so it makes the tractor work a little bit. Yes, this could use some tires. If things go okay this year, we'll put a set of tires on it, but they're expensive, and I gotta make it through a little bit longer. So I'm hoping they make it through spring. But how's our tire doing here? That one's good. See how packed up that gets from turning that. But, yeah, it's doing okay. Getting it. Except for there is a spring somewhere in here, and it's just a mud bog, so we went down and around. We'll chisel plow it right before, or plow it right before, just disc it through. But it just runs and runs and runs, and it's just wet there. I don't know if they ever tried to tie tile line into it or what. You can see it's all right here. I'm gonna go with, we're gonna get shut down here quickly. It just started raining. I can finish that pass next door. I think there's 3 passes, then we'll be done. Yeah, it's rained enough that it's just a sticky, sloppy mess. So corn stalks were building up. I'll do the last bit down there, and we'll go down and figure out the tractor. So the saddle tanks. I had to run an errand, so I actually came over here at Dygert's, and I heard Lemonade's back in. Jake, you better not have lied to me. It better be in stock. So we made it home. Got lemonade, went grocery shopping, so we got stuff to make for dinner. It's really tough to go grocery shopping knowing you're not going to be home for lunch. Usually breakfast is 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm not cooking breakfast, so you just got dinner. But the boys are out there, and we do have the factor meals. I've been eating them pretty well. Been eating them right up, which has been really handy. I actually fell asleep last night around midnight, and I woke up at 1, and I had made one, and I ate it at that point. I was sitting at the table. I passed right out. But alrighty, we're back. It's still raining. Let me throw my groceries in the fridge, and we'll go mess with the 4640. Nightly peacefulness. It's amazing they graze right up to the fence, and then they mess around with everything else. But it's always like that, right up to the fence. Because look at that, is like mowed right down. And people keep asking about the lawnmower. We're waiting on parts from the guy that builds the stuff. So that is the plan. What do you guys got? You think the rest of the week in here? There's still like some good green shrubbery, and then we'll kick you out back. And that stuff's pretty tall. You thinking that, Norman? You got all sorts of burdocks all over the side of you. You got some on your head. You don't have any. You glad to be back and not on the run? We got a 4640 that is going to get some saddle tanks put onto it. I'm not really sure how they're going to line up or what goes on really. We got some mounting brackets. Yeah, I bought them from Seth for honestly like pennies on the dollar compared to what a set goes for. So last fall I said, absolutely, I'll take them. What did he say? They came off a 42. So 4640 and a 42, very similar on a lot of things. But we got to figure out how they actually mount on here. And I think this step's going to have to come off, which I don't use that step for anything. It's meant to clean the windows. But saddle tanks are going to go right in between it. So what we have over here, and we should probably unstrap them so the straps don't just get soaked all the time, but we got these 2 bars and they're adjustable, and then those slide in and lock into them. So we got the hose that connect. Oh, we do have the bolt. We have all but one of the bolts. These are the bolts that go through, so we might have to slide. Okay, good to know. So I was thinking we don't have a carriage bolt to go in place of that, but we do. So toolbox comes off, and there's a mount on the actual toolbox. And I believe these steps are going to have to come off, because you use the steps on the tanks to get up to there, which isn't the end of the world. Yeah, we'll have to see if this plate can stay, and if we just take these 2 bolts and this bracket bolts off, and then the steps can come right off, which they're not actually the steps that come on them anyways. But take the toolbox off and we'll slide it in. I take it we're going to be here and like here with that adjustment, and then there's a platform that goes with it. But toolbox coming off is easy enough, right like that. And then you got 2 bolts, nuts to take off right here, and the whole piece comes off. So you got to make sure they stay. Oh, see, this is gonna be the challenging part. That's not good. Oh, come on. One wants to move, and this one. There we go. So we'll put a pry bar behind it to pull it out. Oh, I don't have a short one, do I? They're all out being used. Maybe I do. I don't think it's long enough. Oh, there it is. That way the carriage bolt stays in the hole and you don't have to, that's the point of them. Oh, they put that through the big hole, which doesn't help. Okay. I guess you can sneak that through. That's how that works. Okay. I've never put saddle tapes on anything. I like the look of them on the older tractors. I think they're just correct. Yeah, this. I guess that doesn't come back through there. But it can. I guess it can't fall down either. There we go. Got it. So we got one that I think we're going to use, and I think the other one is actually going to be further back. But I got to measure where our mounting is. So after measuring, it should actually line up right away. Which will be cool. I feel like this is a two-person job. But we're gonna try to get this one on, snugged, and then get a bolt through the other side. Yeah. I don't know. It's a Sunday. We farmed on Sunday and we didn't break anything yet, so. Oh. Come on. Threads. Okay. There we go. I don't know how I'm going to stick my fingers between to get the other side though. But one on. So like I said, they came with 3 out of the 4. They look about the same. Oh, this one's got so much more room, I think. So, this is a carriage bolt. Puts in, locks in. This one back here, you can sneak it in, get it locked in. I have a feeling we're going to be in one of the holes back here, though. I think. Might have to loosen these U-bolts just to get it. Oh, no. Yeah, we're gonna loosen these. That way we don't destroy the paint, but then that will slide up against it and then we can tighten them back down. Okay. Even though the paint's not original on it, I still want to keep it somewhat nice. You can see the original is coming through underneath, and yeah, such as that's the original, and they painted. They didn't even paint the right colored green over it. So Colburn can give us a rundown of it more about Plain City, Ohio, D Equipment Inc. So if anybody knows who that is, I take it that was the original dealership that sold it. You know, it's disappointing that they painted over that. I don't know if I can pull that off. If I can pull off, we might have to talk to somebody as far as pulling the paint off, but leaving that decal on, because that's always cool. But you can see they put a front stripe on when it went to the dealership. Could use a new front, but like, why would you paint the wrong color green over it? But that's the original decal underneath that's faded, and then they put those decals over it. So somebody in like the 90s or early 2000s thought they could paint. Not me, because I know I can't paint. But somebody thought they could, and they painted it up, and yeah, it's all the same. What is going on here? Okay. Front one mounted. We got to figure out our spacing on our rear. So to do that, we'll walk back over here. We got tape measure. Actually, Keith Buns. That is from you, since you gave me a hard time about not having a tape measure. Okay, what is their spacing? 2 foot. They're gonna be roughly 2 foot apart. These things are gonna fit really well. So like I said, here we are, we got the steps instead, and then it's got this walkabout. Seth said he added that so that you can get in between the tractor. So fueling up and stuff like that's really nice. Right? Fueling up is on that side, yeah. Usually. So 2 foot. Let's see where that lines up. I take it we're gonna have to remove those steps on both sides. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 2 foot's gonna be, I think, that hole right here. Actually, it's gonna be this hole. That is 2 foot. So I don't know if we want to leave that step, because so the tank's gonna come here. So I think you're still gonna be able to get on that step. Whew, we can take it off after. We got room in between to slide that up. So let's pop these off. What's 2 foot on the other side? Yeah, we got to take these steps off for sure, because it will be that hole. So I'll go ahead, take the steps off. Not the end of the world, because we're going to have steps. We're going to have saddle tanks. So support bracket, we'll leave this step piece here. That way it can go on and off, because once we pull the saddle tanks off, there's no... Once these brackets are on, we can pull the saddle tanks on and off, which will be really nice, and then we'll throw the steps back on. Kind of the way. I know there's going to be somebody that says once the tanks go on, they're going to stay on. We will see. I'd like to do more things than just plant and run the silo with it. The silo blower with it. It did spread a little bit of manure, but working on duals, and it needs lights, and I'd really like to get it tinted before we, well, something. Yeah. I was going to film a little bit, but the second I touch that gun's pretty quick, and well, now it's on the ground. So steps out of the way, and put all the bolts back in the places they should be. That way we have them for the future. Those are nice steps. I do like them. But they aren't, I don't believe they're period correct at all for this. So, well, that's definitely not period correct, but. I don't think that's gonna come out. I don't think either of them are gonna come out. That one's gonna be a pain to put back in. So I'm just putting the hardware back in spots so that we know exactly where they go for next time. This is actually pretty easy. The first time I do things, usually it takes me a few seconds longer, or a few days longer. But then, I thought there was a lock washer with that. There's definitely a lock washer. Where is it? Right here. Then after that, we actually get in a rhythm and make some stuff happen. Come on. Okay, that way, next time we throw these back on, come on. It's gonna fall back in. Or is this one not a carriage bolt? It's not a carriage bolt. Okay, never mind. I'm not putting that back in there. Somebody put a regular bolt. Freaking kids these days. I'm just kidding. Relax, I'm a kid. I know, I'm a kid. It's all good. Okay. So, let me measure again. 26 from there. Or, I mean, 2 foot, which is 24. Yeah, it's definitely going to be that hole right there. Okay, first problem. Oil pan. So I don't know if the oil pans, I don't know if the oil pan on these sit lower than a 4255, but they will not fit the way they are. I don't think I got any metal that will line up to that. Hey, I got a drawbar. Just kidding, we're not cutting the drawbar. Okay, let me think for a minute. Somebody already came across this dilemma because this one's longer than the other. So that bolt hole to that bolt hole is the same, but they put this top one in, and I might end up switching this up to the front so that the tank sits level if we drop this back side. Interesting. Always something. So the only thing I have that I can, watch out, that's slick right there with the oil. The only thing I have is this section, but I don't think I can go to the Amish tomorrow. Well, I know I can't go to the Amish tomorrow and have them cut me a piece because we're gonna be hauling manure. We are gonna cut one out with the plasma cutter, which previously gave me welder burn. I got a good helmet. I just set the setting down and it keeps me protected. That was my biggest issue. But here we go. We'll cut it out of this top. So we can make two out of that top, repurpose it. And then we'll drill it with the V-bore mag drill. I've had a few people hit me up and say they bought V-bore mag drill, the one with all the bells and whistles. No, buy the standard one. Buy that other bit set, and someday buy yourself a really nice bit set, like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 bit set, and I think you'll be golden. The people that have bought them that are variable rate and things like that and then complain, I said everybody I know that has absolutely loved it, it's the bare bones. Link is down below. We'll see if we keep having V-bore on the channel. We haven't heard from them in a while, but I still absolutely love their products. I run it on the manure trailer, stuff like that. It's all part of marketing and being involved, but at the end of the day, I'm showing you guys stuff that I actually use. So that thing I use, welding bench I use, the pump on the back of the truck we use every day. So the fuel caddy, that is very usable. Air hose reel, stuff like that. It's the simple stuff that I couldn't afford a mag drill from anybody else. It's just, they're ridiculous money. So links down below. It does help the channel out because we did marketing, and it's got a link for you guys. Made, this is a lot thicker than it should be. These are a little thinner than they should be, but I made two panels, or two drop down brackets that we can utilize for it. So these are 1/4, that's 1/2 inch, and that's 3/8. I would like 3/8. I don't have 3/8. We're just gonna send it. If we got an issue, we will evaluate it. We're not painting them, because as we know, we're not good at painting. But that should give us, ooh, I better wipe those down. That should give us what we need. So I'm gonna wipe them down, I'll throw them on. And plus it's getting dark out and it's Sunday night and we gotta be hauling tomorrow. Granted, we can sleep in, so we don't have to be out to that farm till 8:30. Granted, the problem of that is school buses. If you're going 2 hours away and you're going cross country, when you get stuck behind a school bus, it's now a 3-hour trip. But we'll probably leave here at like 5:30 instead of 4 o'clock. And that gives us a lot of time. So the tanks are going to tilt back because the rear is way lower. But I wanted it to miss the oil pan. And I think we did a good job of it missing the oil pan. We did switch out to the longer ones on the front. Probably should make both of them the same. Honestly, this tractor needs 42s instead of 38s. But we got to wear out this set of tires before we get any more wild. So, yeah. 18.4 38s. So, they'll tilt a little bit back and we'll call it good. If it had 42s, it'd probably sit a little level because it's got, well, actually went through the box trailer and I was like, hey, there's my little level. Oh yeah, got a little bit of a, got a little bit of a lane to it. If we were like, so maybe they're good, but, well, that took a lot longer. Let's see if we can throw a tank on and call it good. No more steps. Tractor's basically trashed. Trade it in. Probably get something new. We do gotta fix, oh no, this one locks. We do gotta get rid of the bird, you know, doo-doo. God, this thing is nice. For what it is, it's nice. We got Yanko's side though. Yanko's, we gotta get him a new seat or something for planting. He's got a pillow underneath here, blanket through the window. He's missing some fabric. My side's got all the fabric, but somebody had a monitor or something and they broke the bolts off in it, which is cool. Not really that cool. But little air ride seat there, or hydraulic ride seat. AC blows ice cold in this thing, which is honestly amazing. Working on the 6247.9. So I just realized that the freaking horn works on it. I don't think this light works now. I think the bulb's burnt out, but it's a little thing, so don't fall out of it, off of it. Oh, alrighty. I'll be honest, this is a two-person job. It is almost 8:30 on a Sunday, but we're gonna keep pushing along. So I figure if I can get one on, that one might be a little more difficult. But we still got to figure out the front lights on this. We got a fuse that's blowing or something. I literally haven't touched nothing. At least that flipped right up. So if I back up and I pull up close, I should be able to move it around. We'll slide it into the rails. The rails aren't bolted down, but you can see right from this angle that it's got a slope. So if we can get rid of some of that slope, I don't know how much distance in between, but if we can move it up, or I think we're gonna have to make new pieces, which at the end of the day, if they're not full yet, we can make some new pieces. We can get the right pieces, and it won't be sloped back. It will actually look proper. It's gonna be a lot wider, like a lot wider, which is kind of not a good thing, but at the same point, so once we put duals on, we're gonna be out to here anyways. We're not there yet. I gotta slide it in, but I'm just saying, a lot wider. All right, you guys watch up front there, because I can't see nothing. I still can't see nothing. If you guys want to push in the back and I'll work in the front, I think we gotta back up a little bit. We got, that one's in. Ah, you guys can't see. So that one started. There's jam nuts that hold them in, and I think we're too far forward, so I can't actually. We should probably loosen some of that. Then we'll tighten it after. This is all trial by error. Oh, too far loose. This gun is impressive. I gotta give Milwaukee credit. Milwaukee, if you ever want to sponsor the channel or be a partner of the channel, I really wouldn't say no. See, now we can make it happen. I honestly may leave it exactly how it is. Tractor's going uphill, but the tanks are literally, like, even going uphill, coming out, they're perfect. I don't know. Holy smokes. That is quite the look. Wow. I didn't think it was going to look that good. Alrighty, throw the other side on. Yeah, this one looks a lot tilted back compared to the other one, but we are lifting it up, so maybe we got some leeway. I'll drop it down, we'll slide it in, but here's the new steps. Oh, look at that. You get a finger width. That is nice, Seth. I really actually like that because you can climb up, fuel tank, radiator, you can do your thing. But I will drop it down. Yeah, this one's leaning way. Is that actually in the front? I don't. But here's your fill. So you got your fill and you can shut it off and then they'll be connected. They'll run back to the actual planter. So it is, but it's not at the same point. It's close. 10 out of 10. That's pretty much vertical. Saddle tank's leaning way back. So if we loosen up those brackets, I think we're going to be good. But alrighty, that's enough. Appreciate you guys.